like the backend maybe be on Go, and now also your client. So your team could be only Go developers. You don't need to hire Java or iOS developers.
They should have known this all along.
How is this possible? Well, this is a very interesting topic. I will not spend much time here, but Java application, which are Android, could run C code via Java native interface, and Go could communicate with C code also with CGO. This is similar to whatever is there in for iOS devices.
Did you move them or what? Did I do something?
To develop a mobile app, we have two ways to do it. With Gomobile, we have the Gomobile build command, which will write a all Go native, which is it's only Go code application. It's also called a native application usually, and it's that works and based on OpenGL bindings. There is another way, which is Gomobile bind, which is also called SDK application, which what you do is you write Go code, Gomobile generates some Go bindings, and you load it as a library in your Android application. In the first case, Gomobile will generate the APK file, and in the second, you have an AAR file, which is you need to be imported. Is everything okay? In your Android project. So native application. In short, they are entirely writing in Go. You don't need anything extra. They work on Android, iOS, and also on desktop. You are using OpenGL binding, which means that if you are already doing a mobile application with OpenGL and C code, this should be like very similar. There is experimental support for audio, sprite, font, because everything you have to be done in Go, from drawing the screen to taking the input of the keyboards or whatever. But there is a big problem, not so big, but they are not ready to be published on the Play Store. As I said before, the Gomobile build command will generate the APK, but you need to open that file, change the icon, zip align the content, and also sync with your certificate to be able to be published on the Play Store. The APK works as a if you install it directly on your device, but to be published, you need to do a few steps. Also, check out Android Go, which is a similar project to Gomobile, but a bit different. And I hope that Gomobile in the future let you make an APK file ready to be published. To make a project with Go build, just Gomobile build, you specify the target, which is Android or iOS, the path to your project. And your file will be there. SDK application, or what this talk is really about, is what I have experience with. I think it's easier to develop a SDK application better than a native application, because with SDK, what are doing is you take your Java application and use just your Go code as a library. So some part of your application is in Go and some part is in Java or Objective-C. it's easier to start with. If you are going to start in the mobile projects, pues, this is what I recommend. Advantage doing this is that you could reuse your Go code, as I said before, and it's a cross-platform code. Your Gomobile will translate and generate bindings for both Android and iOS devices. It's the same. The disadvantage is that only a small subset of Go type are supported. For example, non-signed integer. Language binding have a small overhead, and there are some APA limitation. For example, a function could return none, 1, or 2 results. In case it returns 2, the second one has to be an error. And some code, like the user interface, need to be platform specific, because what you are doing is a Java application or an iOS app and using some Go as a library. Before we start, we need Go 1.5. To install is go get golang.org x mobile command Gomobile and Gomobile init. It will download a few things and it will be ready. You also need the Android SDK and an emulator. The default emulator is okay, but I recommend Genymotion, which is a commercial paid one, but it's way faster and it's better than the default one. Also, Android Studio is not needed, but strongly recommended. It will simplify a lot the things. Binding. As I said, the SDK application will generate some bindings. This is what you have in Go, and this is what it will be transferred in Java. You could see the example here later if you really want to take a look at what is actually generated. And things I will point is like exported variables or struct fields. They get a getter and setter, and the error in Go they will be an exception in Java. So let's see some example code. Your Go code is quite simple here. You just package name my Go library with a function named hello that will receive some parameters. The generate Java bindings is a class my Go library, which we said before. The package will be transferred into a class, and the the hello function is now a static method of the myGo library class. One thing to point here is like in Go, we have the uppercase H, but in Java is lowercase. More examples. You here have a struct with a few functions. And this is what it will be generated at the binding. One thing to point out is Gomobile is not transpiling your Go code. It's making a shared object library and generate some bindings and package everything on AAR file. Example using this is, or Go code as before, and in Java, it could be the main activity or whatever in your code. You need to import the library and later use it. It's very simple and it's real good. This is an example of the same, but this time, as we said, we are returning two results. The second one has to be an error. And in Java, it's an exception we need to catch. If we don't catch it, well, it will complain. I mean, it doesn't compile. So that's how we call from Java to our Go code, make a call. But let's see the other way, like from our Go code, make a call to Java. Well, this is maybe a bit complicated at first. It's not as easy as the other thing, but I find it very useful. For example, if you need to update the user interface because the process in Go is taking too much, or you are downloading a file or something, you need to do this. So first, we are going to create an interface with some method in Go, and also a function register callback to save a reference to our Java code. Later, we need to implement our interface in Java, which is the same as before, like implement Java call, which is this one, and with the to method, we need to do that. And finally, in our Java, we just we import our package and everything, and then we create a Go callback, and then register the callback. So the reference is safe in Go, and we could call later in Go. We could call to some of our Java methods. How to build this? Well, it's Gomobile bin. You specify the target, which is iOS or Android. The output library, which is AAR file and everything. The V is for verbose to show if something is wrong or not. And then later in our Go project, we need to modify or create a few files. It's a bit complicated, maybe. It looks like complicated. But if you are using Android Studio, it's just a sample of file, new modal, import, and then select your AAR package. That's why I recommend Android Studio, but if you don't want to use it, you could just modify the Gradle files with including your library there. You just tell the dependency you need to compile that and where to locate the file. There is one problem. I waited some. I spent some time figuring out because I don't have much experience with mobile project and Android. So the problem was like I was developing my Go code at the same time as the Android application. And when you modify your Go code and recompile and you create a new AAR file, the Android project didn't take those changes. So you need to modify here. You need to add a new file, but modify another one. You just select add a repository, so and there you make the project compile everything and take every time the new changes. So that's the theory. Does it work? Well, yes, it's work. This is our success story. We create a password manager for Trezor. Trezor is this small device. It's a cryptocurrency hardware wallet that you connect to your phone. The interface for the application is React Native. We were using all existing Go package Tesoro, and we use some Java, like very little Java, to put everything together. It's available at the Apple Store, at the Play Store. This is how it looks, the application. And this is how it's built or structured, the application. All our user interface is React Native. The program logic is shared because the main logic code is in Go, but we need Java for a few things. For example, we use it mostly as a proxy between React and Go. But there are a few things, since it's a small device that you connect to your phone, we need to access the USB. And for that, you need first to ask permission in Java and open the connection to the USB, and then pass the file descriptor to Go, and then in Go you are ready to use. So our communication with the device is in Go. But at first, when the application boot up, we need to list the devices connected to their phone and ask permission. For Dropbox synchronization, also the authorization is in Java, because you need to open a web view and take a token. But once we have the token, we pass it to Go, and the uploading or downloading files are done in Go, everything. There are other success stories. Maybe the most famous is Ivy from Rob Pike, which is an interpreter for APL language. Goku, which is a Sudoku solver from Miguel Espinosa, which he's also using React Native as the user interface. Some tips based on our experience. Go code may take some time. If you are doing some big calculation or something. In our case, was communication with the device. It could take some time to get a response, and Java will complain. So to avoid that, you could use a Go routine. So once you call your Go code, you just call a routine, so this function returns directly to Java, and you don't get another complaint, or use an async class in Java for that. If you are communicating or maybe downloading files or uploading files. As I said before, for accessing hardware or other features, you need to ask permission in Java, and then pass the file descriptor, the pointer, or the reference to Go. I've been told there is a little trick, like you could target older SDK version in Java that doesn't include that feature, so you maybe are able to directly use the USB from Go. But it was very, very little Java code needed, so we don't have any problem at internal writing or reading files at the internal storage. But for external storage, you also need to ask permission. And also, since the app cycle of the Java is a bit straight, make sure you remove or create listener if you are using one. Some note, as said before, like Java is experimental in maybe the last 5-6 months. This is what it was before, and this is later. This one is a small change, but they break your code. So that's what you should expect. But the Gomobile itself is very, very stable. It's experimental, it may change. There is a little support for hardware and sensor for the moment, like access the camera or USB or maybe the gyroscope. Don't forget it's a Linux device with some restriction. For example, to communicate with the USB, we use a Linux driver, written in Go. And also Android manifest, you need to put there some information. Here is some links I find useful, like a small demo application I made, an example of the bindings, and some more information. And that's all.